Most people can tell you what happened to them. Far fewer can tell you what they felt. That gap is where the worst decisions live. Emotional intelligence comes down to three moves: name what you feel, choose what you do, and keep doing it until it becomes who you are. Let's go.
From the heart of Irving, Texas, this is Control the Beast podcast. Get ready to discover how faith and emotional intelligence collide to help you own your reactions and rewrite your story. Join your host, Pastor Ed Snyder, as he takes you beyond the surface, tackling anger, fear, and frustration with real, God-centered solutions. Each episode brings you practical strategies to master your emotions, strengthen your relationships, and live the abundant life you were created for. This is Control the Beast.
So the problem here is in today's episode, of course, today's episode is knowing what you feel and choosing again what you need to do. The problem is we react before we name it. Okay, and I'm going to get deeper into this, but autopilot picks the regret is what happens. Something happens, something upsets us, somebody says something stupid, and gets us all riled up. Again, we're there, we're in the middle of that, and we can tell you what happened, but we can't tell you what we're feeling exactly. There is the problem, and as I said in the opening, it's that's not what we're taught. We're not taught to name what we felt, and that gap is the worst decisions residence. That's where they live. Is when we make really dumb decisions in handling our emotions or in our emotional intelligence. People call emotional intelligence soft. I'm going to tell you right now, as long as I've been in this, and not just in it, learned it, lived it, it's not. Emotional intelligence is not soft. It is not soft. It's it is harder than reacting. Okay? Without the name, the feeling drives the car. You're just holding on to the steering wheel is all you're doing. If you're again, I've said many times before, if you're not in the seat, strapped in, got your feet on the wheel your feet on the gas and the brake and your hands on the wheel, you're not in control. Your emotions are driving you, not you. So you've got to get in control of the beast. So again, without the name, the feeling drives the car and you're just holding on to the wheel, going on for the ride. So most of us is never taught this. We were told to calm down. We were told, be tough, man up, let's go, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get your big pants on or big boy pants on, get over it. And none of this is a skill set. It's just pressure without an outlet. Okay. Now let's put an anchor on this. Let's put a foundation under this. In Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 32, in the King James Version, the Bible says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." The conqueror is not the top of the list. The one who rules his own spirit is. The guy that's taken the city, no, that's not the subject. The subject is, in this verse of scripture, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He that ruleth his spirit is better than the person that's taking the territory or the city. So the greatest territory that you will ever take is the 6 inches between your ears. It's what's in your head, what's in your mind. Paul says it a different way in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26, be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. This scripture never tells you not to feel. It tells you not to let the feeling run past the sundown unmanaged. That scripture's teaching us you got to have a plan. You've got to put something together here. You have got to not just know what happened, you need to know how to identify what you have felt and then put a management plan in place. So how are we going to do that? Well, there's basically, I think, 4 moves. Move number 1, of course, name it. Get specific. Anger, fear, anxiety, hurt, wearing an anger's coat. Of course, fear dressed as control. A lot of times people are afraid, and so they're going to get loud, scream, pound their fist on the table or whatever. Why? They're scared, but they've got to get control of the situation. That's not really how you do it. Now, in move number 1, name it. Naming actually loosens the grip. You cannot govern what you will not name. Okay? You've got to name it. That's why if you don't, you got a loose grip. The wheel can slide out of your hand. Okay? So again, move number 1 is name it. Move number 2 is choose it. Feeling is honest. Acting is accountable. Feel the full weight and still choose on purpose. Again, folks, are you in control or not? Are you going to let your emotions run wild and rule you? Or are you going to take a hold of that beast and say, no, we're not doing this? And you're going to name it. Now you're going to choose it. So again, the space between feeling and choice is definitely, hear me now, not weakness. Okay, let me repeat that one more time. The space between feeling what you feel, anger, hurt, anxiety, fear, whatever it is, and choosing is not weakness. It's actually the power. It's actually you getting in control, taking that breath for a few seconds. Breathe in, breathe out. Smell the roses, blow out the candles. That's actually giving you a minute to get your feet on the gas or the brake, whatever's required. It's actually saying, I'm strapping in, I'm in control. So that comes through not just feeling, but identifying, name it and choose it. Okay. Number 3 is repeat it. Okay. Again, this is not a one-time move now. You can't just do this once and it's a magic wand. Poof, everything is good. Everything is wonderful. Everything is fantastic. That's not the case, folks. That's not the case. Again, this is not a one-time move. It becomes a discipline through reps. Repetition is the best teacher. So the first time you name it and choose it, it will feel slow and clunky. But the 10th time, it starts to feel like a reflex. So again, you've got to keep repeating it. Well, shouldn't after first few times, shouldn't I actually have it under control? No, not necessarily. You know, some people are very, very quick learners and others are not so quick. And so we've got to keep repeating it because, again, repetition is the best teacher. Here's something that I want you to think about. In fact, if you got a chance, write it down. What you rehearse under low pressure is what shows up under high pressure. Okay, let me hit it again. What you rehearse under low pressure is what shows up under high pressure. You're not trying to win the feeling once. You are training a new default in your emotions. Okay? You're training a protocol. You're training a process within your mind, heart, and even in your spirit. You've got, and again, that doesn't happen overnight. So again, before we get into our break, I want you to move number 1, name it. Move number 2, choose it. Move number 3, repeat it. And then repeat it again. And then repeat it again until it becomes a default. All right? Let's take a break. I want you to know about Too Good Coffee. And during this break, I'm going to actually take a sip of some Too Good Coffee.
Quick word from Too Good Coffee. If you are leading anything, a team, a church, a family, a business, your morning fuel matters. Too Good Coffee just dropped the Flavor Favorites bundle: Cinnabon, Hazelnut, Caramel, 3 premium naturally flavored coffees in one powerful starter bundle. Irresistible flavor, everyday enjoyment, made to inspire. Every cup you buy makes an eternal impact because Too Good Coffee is rooted in faith and built for leaders on mission. Head to drinktoogood.com and grab the Flavor Favorites bundle today. Too Good Coffee, bigger purpose.
All right, folks, again, make sure you go to our website, Drink Too Good, and order up. We got some starter bundles. We've got, you'll save by doing a subscription, cancel at any time without penalty. This really helps us further what we're doing in Control the Beast. So if you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, here you go. I have a tremendous love-hate relationship, mostly hate than love, about texting. I'm a phone guy. I'm a in-person, face-to-face type of guy. I like seeing your face. I like looking into your eyes when I'm talking. I like to hear your voice on the phone. I really hate texting. I know the convenience of it. I know that, when we're in a rush, hey, don't forget to don't forget to pick up. It's handy. It's handy. But I can't tell you how many times that I, as a pastor, have had to put out a fire between two people because somebody read a text they did not understand. In a text, you can't hear the voice, you can't see the face, you can't read the emotion, you see words on the screen of your phone. So I can't tell you again, the story that I want to share with you is how many times I have often got my phone out and went to fire off a text to somebody, and good and bad. Of course, this really applies on the negative thing, that we have to text a message and put extra things in there so they can understand I'm upset, but I'm not furious. I am extremely happy, and all of that. It's just it can be done a lot easier when you hear a voice and see a face. But again, nonetheless, especially when I'm upset about somebody doing something, I have to walk through those 3 beats: what I felt, what I almost is getting ready to do in this text message, and what naming it out loud actually changed. So the framework only means something once you can point to the day it worked. Understand what I just said. I didn't fire off, and I have retyped many a text messages over the years because I asked myself the 3 moves. I named it. What am I feeling? Okay. I chose a different route, and I repeated it over and over. So again, folks, this is a very important lesson today, or podcast episode. Knowing what you feel and choosing what you do is so very important. That's what emotional intelligence really, in a nutshell, is knowing what you feel and choosing what you're getting ready to do. Okay. So here's the drill. Here's an action plan for you. Twice a day, finish this sentence. Right now, I feel blank, whatever the emotion is. And I'm still choosing to what? Okay. Right now, I feel very sad, but I'm choosing to be happy. Right now, I feel very frustrated over the way this person is acting on my job, but I'm choosing to invoke a working relationship and get along with that person and not cause conflict on the job. Okay. Right now, I feel like punching somebody, but I'm not going to do that because violence really doesn't do a whole lot. Okay. Now, you could do this out loud or on paper, but here's the key, folks: reps builds the muscle. When you're in the gym, it's not really the amount of weight that's on the bar. It's about how many times you push against that bar and the amount of resistance you put on that bar. That's what really builds the muscle. You can build muscle with 25 pounds. You're going to do a lot of reps, and you're going to burn a lot of energy, which is cardio. I'm talking physical here now. But you're going to build something. You're going to build stamina. You're going to build muscle. You're going to tone up those muscles and all of that. Emotions is really not that much different. You don't have to have a big crisis to become strong. You just need to do this every day. Reps builds the muscle. And so that third move to drill this in this week, again, at the end of the day, one thing about, again, if you know me, you know me. And if you don't, well, here we are. I love reflecting on my day. I love to think things through. When I get done with the day, I like to sit for a few minutes and just kind of think through the day. What happened? Who did I talk to? What kind of deals I got involved in, business, church, what I handled that day. And I always ask myself questions. Could I have handled that better? That really turned out good. And what brought the positive outcome? So reflecting at the end of your day is extremely good. But in your reflection on the end of your day, look back and name that moment. You did this very well. And one moment you didn't do so well. You don't just build the habit, you track the habit. 45 years ago, in fact, almost 46 years ago, when my wife and I got married, she discovered I had a ferocious anger problem. I went crazy, putting my fist through a door and yelling and screaming and scared her to no end. Well, 45 years ago, anger management classes wasn't even in the universe. I couldn't find anything printed that I can read and learn. But she's like, Ed, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can continue. And so I said, look, I love you. You're the love of my life. You're my first love. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. I'll do whatever I can do or whatever I need to do to fix this. And so one of the things was, again, back in those days, there was no material on how to help me. So we got the main book out, the manual to everything called the Bible. What did the Bible say about anger, about emotional intelligence, which that term was unheard of back then, and prayer? We did a lot of praying. But here's something else. I gave her permission to speak into my life and tell me what I did good and what I didn't do so good. And then I took the responsibility to listen to her and think about what she's telling me and rehearsing the actions of myself in my own mind. And repetition always is a great teacher. And lo and behold, pretty soon, I'm getting my emotions intellectualized and under control. I suggest you do that. I want to encourage you to do that. So let's let's close out today with this. Emotions were given to you to inform you, not to run with you or run you, okay? In other words, your emotions are not there to control you. Your emotions are there to inform you how to work it better, how to be more successful, how to be at peace, how to build stronger relationships. So, again, folks, that's our time today is knowing what you feel and choosing what you do. Before we go, I want to encourage you to go to our website, controlthebeast.com, and go get a copy of the newly revised version of Control the Beast. You'll love it. We've added more content to it, updated statistics and links and all of that. Our new book is hopefully going to be out in August, is Release the Beast, getting into beast mode and how to handle life on a positive manner. I also want to invite you to subscribe to our Substack account. Every week we have a free article that comes out on Tuesday, and then I think it's Thursday. If you pay just $7 a month, you'll get an in-depth lesson and reading on the quote of the week, what we're teaching and talking about on the podcast. And then also, if you would, and this is a really good one, if you could share this. If you could take this podcast and share it with somebody and go to Apple Reviews, give us a review on Spotify or Apple or whatever platform you're listening, it would really help us get this out to more people. And of course, go visit drinktoogoodcoffee.com It'd be great to have you on board as a customer with some great coffee, subscribed, delivered right to your door. Until next week, God bless you and be strong in the Lord.
You've been listening to Control the Beast podcast with Pastor Ed Snyder, helping you own your reactions and rewrite your story. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. For resources, coaching, and more, visit controlthebeast.com. Until next time, keep your emotions under control, live with purpose, and remember, with God's help, you can control the beast.